One of the biggest questions that lefties are going to be struggling with over the next 4 years is how to best criticize Joe Biden or the Democrats. I've seen a lot of struggling with this because sometimes lefties go, well, some lefties will take the approach of just being openly hostile to all liberals. And I don't really think that's very effective. And some lefties, I think, get really, really complacent or really, really, they get like almost this parasocial relationship with Democrats, or more, or sometimes more often, I think what they'll do is they'll fall into like this pit of despair and they'll believe that it's not possible to move beyond the incrementalism of the Democratic Party. So here's my suggestion, okay? Is everyone ready for this? Okay, here's my suggestion, okay? Remember, first and foremost, moving the Democratic Party left can only be done when we elect people who represent our values. We're not going to be able to push Biden left, at least not generally. It is possible to push candidates who are already elected to the left in specific instances on niche issues with very, very directed outreach. That is totally possible. That is 100% possible. But generally speaking, we're not going to like make Biden become a social democrat like after he's already elected. That's just not going to happen. We have to elect the right people. We have to elect people who are workers' candidates, people who want to represent us, not who want to be Democrats, but who want to be the first wave of socialist American politicians. That's the people we need in there. And obviously, we need to vote for those people. We need to support those people in every conceivable way. We need to make sure that the path is clear so those people can become congresspeople, senators, presidents, whatever. But in the meantime, how do we deal with the Democrats that we have? Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It is essential that we not alienate liberal voters. It's essential that we not do that. Some lefties are very antagonistic towards liberals almost by default, okay? But please do remember that liberalism leads into fascism as easily as it can conceivably lead into socialism. When does liberalism lead into fascism? Liberalism leads into fascism when democracy and civil rights are curtailed because capital interests consolidate class and instead get people to divide themselves amongst racial, ethnic, religious lines. But socialism takes root in people when they realize there's something fundamentally wrong with a country which promises equality but delivers historic, record wealth inequality, racial apartheid through long officially removed redlining policies that nonetheless seem to be just as etched into the lines of the earth today as they were back in the 1950s. Liberals need a guiding hand. And it's important to move them in the right direction. And you're not going to do that by being like a super angry, fucking super antagonistic dipshit, okay? Just for real. Now, if there's a liberal that's being annoying, you can argue with them. That's fine. But as a general rule, you don't want to do that to people who you think you can convert. There are lefties who think you can't convert liberals. Were you born a fucking socialist? I'm sorry, motherfucker. What were you born into? What default ideological predilection? Oh yeah, dude. I'm sorry. Listen. Not only do I not accept liberals into my political fucking my sweet club on the penthouse floor, okay? I don't even accept fucking anarchists. I don't accept anyone other than MLs, and I don't accept MLs who used to be fascists. I only accept people who were born to ML parents who were read fucking the history of the Castro regime who were soothed in the womb by the sound of audiobooks of Das Kapital, okay? Cut the purity bullshit, okay? All of you suck. In fact, most lefties suck. Take it as somebody who has to talk with a lot of them and see what they say about me on Twitter, okay? Trust me, lefties suck. Being a lefty doesn't make you a good person. Being a liberal doesn't make you a bad person. All you fucking suck, okay? We can broaden this, okay? Let's just stop rooting the moral worth of an individual in like these characteristics, okay? Being white doesn't make you inherently bad. Being black doesn't make you inherently good. Being cis doesn't make you inherently bad. Being trans doesn't make you inherently good. None of these things. All of you suck ubiquitously. I've talked with all you motherfuckers. You all suck, okay? So stop with the fucking high horsing. Stop with the fucking ivory tower. Chill the fuck out. You see a liberal, even if they're a white liberal, whatever, cringe, okay. Suck it up. The fucking labor organizers of the early 20th century had way harder jobs than you, okay? You don't get to invoke their name and then cringe at the idea of talking with people who you wouldn't accept into your fucking brunch club, okay? Suck it the fuck up. You don't have to be friends with every person you talk to amicably, all right? Jesus Christ. With the liberals, the actual liberal, voters, you can engage with these people, and your ability to move them left. I mean, this isn't person-to-person interaction. This is highly dependent on a number of characteristics that I'm not privy to at the moment. But just for God's sake, don't dismiss them offhand, okay? But also, and this is equally important, okay? There are a lot of leftists, I think, Shu in chat, there are a lot of people who are amicable to socialist ideas, but have concerns about the viability of them. They have concerns about the extent to which it's possible. I'm giving Shu shit here, by the way. I don't care. But they have concerns about the extent to which viable change can be made. And I find a lot of libs and a lot of lefties alike both get complacent and they begin to forget the dreams they had when they thought change was possible. How many people are like that in chat right now? How many of you are burnt out? This is burnout. That's what this is burnout. That's what that is. The problem is a lot of people get into politics, a lot of lefties especially. They get into politics and they get so excited. They're finally awake, They finally get it. They didn't get it before, and all these things that used to confuse them make sense, and they're really, really driven to make, a difference and to affect change. But you have to understand, and I've reiterated this a million goddamn times, okay? The best way to be a good activist or advocate or just person in general is to take care of yourself first. They say when the plane's going down, the first thing you have to do, the first person you put the oxygen mask on, it's yourself. You have to make sure you're in a good place before you can trust yourself to handle the stress of political advocacy, okay? I do this. Listen, I'm in a very privileged position when it comes to political advocacy because I'm a fucking YouTuber. I'm in no position to complain. But even I sometimes get stressed. I have a lot to do. I'm a busy guy, and I get a lot of hate online. What do I do during those days? I don't stream. Or I play video games. Even if there's something important to do, I play video games. Makes me feel good. And when I feel good, I'm better the next time I cover political content. I couldn't do it without the video games. Even now, I've done politics for about a week every day in a row, some days doing 2 streams. And there are people who stream way longer hours than me, like Hassan and Destiny, and they do that political content too. But I'm me, and they're them, and even now it's a little tiring. And what I'm essentially asking from all of you here is self-care. And this seems odd because the segment is ostensibly about how to criticize Dems, but you have to understand that I think that for a lot of people, an unwillingness to healthily engage with the system as it exists stems with an unhealthiness within themselves. So you gotta chill, okay? You gotta chill, all right? It's very important that you do that. You gotta chill, okay? If you find that political content or engaging with it is too stressful for you, you got to take a break. You know what a lot of you people are doing? I saw this Onion article title. It was great. Woman hopeful she's done enough worrying about the election to help Joe Biden. Did any of you see that one? Because it describes something. You all doom scrolling through Twitter. What are you doing exactly when you're doom scrolling through Twitter? Do you need to know every single thing that's going on right now? The factual matter is that you absolutely don't. I need to, because I could cover it. You fucking don't, guys. You don't. You absolutely do not. Okay? You don't need to doom scroll all the time. I'm not doom scrolling. I follow many anime artists. Okay, look, if you're looking at hentai, I'm not accusing you of doom scrolling. I'm saying that if you're doom scrolling, that's when you're doom scrolling. Okay, listen, it's one of the problems is we're provided so much information, coom scrolling. Sorry, we're provided so much information these days, far more than our brains know how to handle. Okay, you need to get good at processing that information appropriately. You know what my version of doom scrolling is? I used to name search myself really, really often. Like, what's the internet talking about today? You know how what the internet talks about with regards to me? It's not good. It's never good. It's better since I've gotten larger, and now I don't do it anymore at all. You know why? I genuinely don't feel any need to. I feel absolutely no need to. It literally doesn't interest me, like as a concept, you know? And the ability to do that, to take certain forms of information that hurt or that you don't like or that you don't benefit from and just not care about it, is essential. Because if you are engaging in political advocacy, you are going to be exposing yourself to an unbelievable amount of negative information, and properly channeling that is essential. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be overwhelmed by the mundanity and the horror of it all, and you're going to get tired and you're going to get burnt out, and then you're going to think, damn, maybe Nancy Pelosi's right. Maybe all we really can do is reach out for 18 months consecutively to try to hope that the Republicans will sign off on a bipartisan legislation to give $4 and a lettuce leaf to everybody who's been affected by COVID-19, okay? But people do that. Radical political projects are always built fundamentally on a belief in a better world. Or I guess if you're a fascist, a belief and a desire for a much worse world that you imagine is better because your head's, all twisted up. But that's the gist of it. And you can only hope for that. The ability to hope for something better is fundamentally rooted in a healthy mind state, okay? Fundamentally. So you guys got to chill. You got to be cool, okay? You have to go on TikTok and see all the cool people there, okay? They're hipping and hopping. Try to be cool, okay? I don't know. Take inspiration. Like Snake Plissken, from Escape from New York. That dude's cool. Who else is cool? John Wayne? He's never been my type. Clint Eastwood? I don't know. Think of a cool guy, okay? Be cool, all right? It's going to be okay. Hold on. We have a comment in chat. I think it's a great point. I love how Vosh has 0% class analysis. We don't need liberals, but workers, from the inner city and from the rural areas. It's a great point, comrade. Has it ever occurred to you that most workers are liberals? I'll give you a second to think about that. Do you think they vote worker at the poll? What do you do if you encounter a worker and they have a Joe Biden sign on their front lawn? Do you just stop? Do you think when I say we should reach out to liberals, I mean only bourgeois liberals? What group of people exactly do you think I'm referring to here? Because trust me, I know plenty of working class people. I've worked with working class people. I know bougie fucks too. And let me tell you, there is no class consciousness in this country. Absolutely zero. There are working class people who believe they're a temporarily embarrassed millionaire, and there are wealthy people who legitimately believe that we live in a country which is grinding down the working class. We have no worker solidarity in this country. The workers in this country, the poor, are born and raised to believe in a world which is fair and equal, and that they are in that world, and that world is fairly treating them for what they have put into it. And it is very sad, and it is very depressing to talk to a poor person or a poor parent who actually thinks they're responsible for where they are in life. And many of those people are liberals. And many of those people stan Yas Queen Kamala Harris. A lot of overlapping considerations to be made here. A lot of intersectional analysis to be made here. It's true. It's totally true. One of the biggest problems with online leftist advocacy is that a lot of lefties never go outside, and I'm very much part of that group. And they legitimately believe that if they went outside, they would see something like out of a Katniss Everdeen novel, where like the working class is like this big group of people with like total solidarity, and there's this big evil bourgeois outsider class who all go to like $300 like bruncheons together to talk about how much they hate fucking progressive taxes, But that's not true. Ideas and beliefs and personalities overlap, and honestly, every individual is just that, an individual. Yeah, absolutely, Radical Reviewer. And yeah, you have to remember that. So, yes, Katniss Everdeen's the character, not the author. I'm sorry, I've never read it. Listen, here's what you need to focus on, okay? Let's break it down. Basic points. First of all, liberals are not your enemy. as a rule, there are some liberals who are. There are liberals who are openly, actively antagonistic to social progress. Fuck them. That's not most of them, though. A lot of liberals just have been sold the lie by the Democratic establishment that the only way to move forward is by being in lockstep with their incredibly slow, incremental approach. But that doesn't make them your enemy. That makes them somebody lacking in class analysis. You can help them with that. So talk with them amicably. If you're worried that you're getting burnt out doing political shit, then find a better way to consume political content or take breaks. Or look, again, I'm not trying to be patronizing here, but unless every single one of you runs a fucking public action committee or a lobbying group, unless every single one of you has a gigantic influential YouTube channel, I'd be willing to bet that for a lot of the people watching this right now, spending a day not paying attention to politics probably isn't going to destroy the working class in America. I'm really not trying to downplay your worth. Your worth is inviolate. It is unique and valuable, but it'll probably be okay if you just take a sec. So you should